Welcome back to Allied Bullies TV. And today we got Jason from Heroes Kennels in the building, man. How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. Thank you for having me, man.
It's a pleasure, man. Like I was telling you off camera, though, I appreciate all the support, from you. You've been supporting me, since the beginning of this thing, man. And I always see you, drop a comment on my videos all the time, and I had took notice to it. Like, yeah, he really rocking with the channel, so I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, well, I feel like your channel is what this community needs, man. One of the biggest critiques that we have is we have all of these backdoor breeders that don't know what they're doing, or these backyard breeders that don't know what they're doing. Well, how is anybody going to learn if we don't educate them? You know what I mean? So I think like channels like this is what helps us as a community and helps us as breeders get to really what we're trying to achieve and bettering the breed.
Right. Before we dive in, man, like I just said in the introduction, Heroes Kennels. That's a
Yeah.
real catchy name, man. How did that name come about? How did you come up with that name, Heroes Kennel?
Well, something that people don't know about me, I'm a pastor. I've been a pastor over at Calvary Chapel back in California for 12 years. And so the He Rose was kind of a play on words. My wife's middle name is Rose. My daughter's middle name is Rose. I'm the He, but He Rose is kind of like Jesus. He rose from the grave. So it kind of was like, is that me, my wife, and my daughter are all involved in the
Right,
kennel. And then plus, it goes along with my faith.
right. How important to you is that to have your wife or your kid and family members involved with the dogs and the kennel and things like that?
Is vital, man, because I couldn't do it on my own. Like I work anywhere from 55 to 65 hours a day. I mean a week, at my 9 to 5. So if I didn't have my family helping me out, there's no way I could do it. You know what I mean? With the kennel, with my job, with my kids, with my wife, and then I'm really involved in ministry as well. I just there's not enough time for me to do everything. So without them, I couldn't do it.
Right. That's something a lot of people don't be understanding, man. A lot of these kennels and a lot of people that's breeders, you might see just they face a lot or all the time, but trust me, man, it's other people behind the scenes that's
Yeah,
helping out with these dogs, because I feel like there's no way you can do this thing alone, especially for people like you and I who work and have 9 to 5s outside of doing, dog breeding and just caring for dogs in general. It don't even really got to be breeding, just having pets.
yeah, mhm,
I think, that's something that people need to know and people need to understand before they try to get multiple dogs and even as pets or even multiple dogs to be breed, and make sure that you do have somebody or some other people that can help you, you know, with these dogs, because you can't do it alone.
exactly. Yep.
Um, Give us the little backstory, man, on how you got into dogs in general.
For sure, man. I've been into dogs my whole life. My dad was a dog guy. I mean, we had every type of dog too. You're talking like Cocker Spaniels. We had several of them. My dad had Brittany's. My little brother had a Jack Russell. I was all on the pit bulls. You know what I mean? Because growing up, me and my brothers were really into hip hop and stuff, and it was kind of part of the culture. And so pit bulls. My brother had a boxer, a German Shepherd. We had like so many dogs. It was crazy. Like we were raised with dogs. So I've always been into dogs.
Yo, what it do, man? It's your boy Brandon, man. Bully Avenue, Big Screen Exotics, man. Shout out to my kennel partner, Daquan Jackson, Dada Mills, and Vino Smith, man. You know what I'm saying? We checking in with our people at Ally Bully TV, man. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to their YouTube channel, man. They doing some of the freshest interviews with some of the old school breeders, some of the new breeders, upcoming breeders, top breeders or whatever. They're getting everybody together and giving you a big, wide, perspective of the bully world from the community standpoint. So they're letting you speak and you be the voice. Everybody having an opportunity, man. So make sure you check out these interviews. Matter of fact, I got one, so make sure you check that out, man. You know what I'm saying? And man, I got some shows coming up that I'll be at around the country. So, man, make sure you follow me at Bully Avenue _ Brandon, man, so you can keep up with where I'm gonna be at. If you want to stack up, friendly stack up and do some different things, photos, whatever, just make sure you're keeping up with me so you can see where I'm being at. You never know who I might pop out with, you know what I'm saying? Man, hey, like, share, and subscribe, man. We'll see you at the next one.
Yeah. Well, like in 97 or 98, bullies were brand new. This is before I even knew what bullies were. I went over to my brother's, my homie's best friend's house. Actually, it was my homie's sister's house. And her husband had the dopest dog I'd ever seen. His name was Pete, and he was a bully, but I thought it was a pit bull. I was like, that's the dopest dog I've ever seen, man. And so I would go over and visit this dog like all the time. I'd be hounding my homie, be like, hey, let's go over to your sister's house because I want to see Pete. And Pete had litters and stuff, and he had this one girl that I really fell in love with. She was a little brindle. I named her Bullet. I was the one that gave her the name. And so I go over and visit her, and he was just like, hey, man, you really love these dogs. Why don't you go ahead and take that one? I was like, for real? That was my favorite girl anyway. He was like, yeah, you go ahead and you take that. And so I went home, took care of it. Bullet was with me all the time. She rocked with me every day, man. She would sleep on my bed. I was able to walk her with no leash. She wouldn't leave my side. She was just like my partner. Got a little older, and then I got in trouble, and I got locked up. And then when I was incarcerated, she ran away. I got out, and my friend had found her and was like, "Hey, I know where Bullet's at. Let's go get her." She was pregnant. She was pregnant by a pit bull. So I ended up getting her. She dropped the litter, whelped it, and sold them. Back then, I sold it. I think it was like the most expensive one I sold was like $150 or something like that. And
Right,
then,
right, right.
so I had her. I was planning on keeping her and maybe breeding her one more time if my homie's brother wanted to do something, or brother-in-law wanted to do something. But that didn't work out. I got in trouble again. I went away, and then she ran away again, and that was the last I seen her. Fast forward, everything changed. I had my own family, and my kids like animals, and so I ended up getting a couple of pit bulls. And one of our dogs died, and we were like, you know what? What kind of dog are we gonna get? And I was like, I want to get a dog like Bullet. And so we started doing research, a little bit more, educating ourselves on what we wanted to get. And it was something that my daughter really loved, something my wife she liked it too. She wasn't really into dogs like me, but she is now. And so we like, yeah, let's do this. And so that's kind of how the whole idea, crept in. This is what we're going to do together. And so we went and we got ourselves a dog, and then, we just, started it off that way. But I've been into dogs my whole life.
Right, right, right. Who was your first bully, at XL bully, or did you start out in a different class?
Nah, first bully was XL. I've always been. I like all dogs. Doesn't matter. I like small, big, whatever. But my favorite, I love the big dogs. And
Right, right,
and what drew me in too to the bullies is they were, pit bull on steroids, type dogs, extra big pit bulls. And so I wanted to get the biggest, baddest dog.
right. That's the same thing with me, man. Growing up, like you say, like I had an older cousin, and he had pit bulls, And when I was younger, I used to always go over my auntie house and my cousin to be over there. He got all these pit bulls, and I always was fascinated with his dogs, and I always wanted one. But my parents, they wouldn't allow me to have them. And when I got old enough, I had got my own dogs and stuff like that. But once I had got into the bully, same thing. Like I wanted the big dog. I wanted the bigger dog. And as I got into them, I also, realized, the temperament with them for as like, they
Yeah,
family companions, but also they could watch the house for you too. And they could let you know what's going on around the home and things like that. So that's why I like the XLs personally.
yeah, absolutely.
Um, what is your best experience thus far, since owning an American bully? And what would be your worst experience, if you had a worst experience thus far owning an American bully?
Yeah, I think my favorite thing so far is just finding stuff to do with my family. You know, Me and my wife love to take the dogs out on hikes. My daughter's super into it. My daughter lives in Cali, and she calls me up on a regular basis, and she's just like, she just wants to talk dogs, you know? And so we'll talk about studs. We'll talk about things that we want to do, different ideas, and we'll just be talking about it for hours, man. And so I love the fact that I'm able to connect with the family. We're able to do something together, this venture together, and be excited about it. Something that we can do on our own for ourselves. And then I think the worst thing, probably, I love the people. I've met some really great people, but then met, and I mean, some snake oil salesmen too. You know, you got people that are looking to make a quick buck. It's crazy to see. You will see people that will tell you anything to sell you something. It's just like that they'll walk over $100 bill, a long $100 bill, to go ahead and snatch a quick buck. And it's just like there's no like ethics involved with some people, man. And so that's kind of been the worst experience that I've had so far, dealing with a couple of people. And then sometimes, man, because like I think I'm kind of like you in that I like to show support to people, man. I like to interview people and give them their shine and allow them to like, you know, introduce themselves to the public. And some people feel like they feel like you owe them something. You know what I mean? Like if you didn't do something a certain way, almost like they're upset with you. I had this one dude, man. I felt like I gave him all this credit, all this shine, and I was going to do an interview with him, but you know, I'm busy. So I didn't get back to him. And then it was like the next time I seen him, it was like he was upset with me. I was like, bro, like for real? That's weird, dog. Like I'm trying to I'm trying to promote this breed, but it's just people are funny, man. So I think sometimes it's like it's a great thing. I love a lot of the people, but then some of the people kind of just like, I don't know, you know.
People gotta understand, man, that we got lives outside of this thing, too. Far as like we got families, we got 9 to 5s. People got other business ventures they got going on and things like that. Not just these dogs. So
Yeah,
somebody might not get back to you immediately.
yeah,
Don't take offense to it. They may have something going on that they just couldn't get back with you at
yeah,
the time you wanted them to. That's like, me. I reach out to people, and I ask them, hey, would you like to come on for an interview or, things like that. And I done had people turn me down, but I never got emotional and got in my feelings about it. I
right,
figured, A, they got something going on, or B, they just might not feel like, they want to do it, or C, some people just don't like sitting in front of a camera and talking. So, I never take it personal, man. You don't know what's going on in somebody's life as well. So,
that's right.
people gotta respect that. But I want to touch on something though that you just said, as far as like the snake oil salesmen and things like that. Like it been a lot of uh, talk and a lot of videos and things like that going around. It's a lot of scamming going on in the community. People scamming people out of money when it comes to selling a dog or buying a dog, or you got co-owns and things like that. People getting scammed and cheated out of money in this bully
Yeah,
community. And I'm pretty sure it goes on in other dog communities, but I think, in the bully community, I think that, we may got everybody beat, man,
yeah,
and I think a lot of that got to do with, you know, people, everybody come from different walks of life, but, whatever you had going on in your past and things like that, people genuinely care about these dogs, and people genuinely got businesses they running with this thing. So I feel like stop mixing street and criminal activities into what we got going on with these dogs, where there's exotics, pockets, standards, classics, XLs. We gotta stop doing this, man. What's your
yeah.
what's your thoughts on that?
No, I love that. I think that's one of the other reasons why I got so uh, heavy into social media as well, is because I wanna paint the picture of the bully in the correct way. because people from the outside, they can't separate the individual from the dog. And if they're seeing somebody, walk around, promote themselves, flashing money, with shiesties on and just what are they going to think about the dog? You know what I'm saying? And then we've already seen what happened over in Europe, what's going on in the UK, what's going on in Ireland. It's like these dogs already got that stigma upon them. Whether it's fair or not, it's not fair, but they got that stigma on it. And if we don't paint them in a good picture, people are going to feel like they're validated and having these negative thoughts about them, man. And so I definitely feel like we have to do better at painting the image of ourselves, you know what I'm saying, as well as like showing our dogs in the correct light, because back in the day, whenever I got into them, I thought it was cool, you know what I mean? Like I thought the whole, like, you got the aggressive dog that'll whip any other dog's butt and then protect you. Like I can have it in my house and you know what I mean? That's my protection right there. But
Right, right.
as we're getting older, if we want this bully market to expand and to accept and embrace us, then we gotta clean it up and change it.
Yeah, you're right, man. I think we as a community, we got to clean up our own image ourselves. Far as like the way we present ourselves to the public, the way, when other people outside of the breed, other breeders, other, dog organizations, other dog registries, other places that, give dog shows, when they look at us, we need to be looked at as respectable people that we are, because we are respectable people. It's just a
Yeah,
few that ruin it for all of us, though.
that's right.
Um, what kind of tips can you give to first time bully owners? It don't gotta be a breeder, just somebody maybe looking for a pet or a breeder, but it's their
Okay.
first time.
Well, if there's somebody looking, the first thing that I would suggest is like examine your living conditions, educate yourself on the breed, see if the bully is the right dog for you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want a big dog, uh, you might not want to go with the XL if you live in an apartment complex. Some apartment complexes won't even allow them. If you're living in a house, in a neighborhood that has an HOA, you need to check that too, because they might not allow it. If you're not a very active person, you might want to think twice about getting an XL, because a lot of these XLs are very hyperactive. They have a lot of energy, and without exercise, they can become destructive. People that don't have experience might look at it like that dog's being bad or it's rebellious, but it's not. It just has energy that it needs to burn out. So educate yourself on the breed, educate yourself on the temperament of the breed, educate yourself on the breeder that you want to go ahead and get that dog from, and see if they really care about temperament. And then look at your living conditions and see if this is the correct breed for you. If you have one already, I would say make time for it. You have to make time for it, and you have to socialize it young. You have to get it around people. You have to get it around other dogs, because it is a big, powerful dog. It's no different from any dog. Like you can have the littlest dog, if they're not well socialized, they become aggressive. It's the same thing with our dog too. If we're not socializing, if we're not getting them used to other things and other environments, they could get a little, rambunctious and a little aggressive. And with a dog as big as ours, we don't want that to happen. So definitely socialize your dog. Take it out places, introduce it to other animals, especially when it's young. And if you haven't done it and you have a little older dog, don't stop now. Just start. Be responsible. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you're out in public, be mindful of other people. Don't let your dog off the leash. You know what I'm saying? Even if you know that your dog is a well behaved dog, don't do it. Uh, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, what you just said about letting the dogs off the leash, even if you know your dog, sometimes, you might be running the risk of, an accident happening.
Yeah,
And then, people, we gonna get that stigma on us, as a vicious dog and things like that, when, things can happen in a matter of seconds.
yeah. And your dog could be just defending itself too. Your dog could just be defending itself too, but your dog's the big dog, so who are they going to blame? They're going to blame you. You know?
Exactly, man. It's funny you say that. I actually had some neighbors move in. like over here on the side of me, and they got it's a German Shepherd, and I want to say like two Malinois looking dogs maybe, but it's a total of three dogs. And you know, when I let my dogs out, I, I got my yard all fenced in, so I just let them out in the back. And they used to being out there like that. And when he moved in on the side of me right here, you know, his dogs, they make a lot of noise. They do a lot of barking. Like my dogs don't do a lot of barking unless, you know, if I hear them barking, I know it's something going on for real. And his dogs, though, they do a lot of barking. And my dogs, though, they train and they listen. You know, I tell them, like, stay away from the fence. Don't go by the fence. But his dogs at the fence, like, all day, every day, trying to antagonize my dogs. And, you know, had my dogs not listened to me, they'd be, you know, trying to get through the fence and get them dogs. But like I was telling that guy, I was trying to tell him, like, you know, if you can kind of just, you know, get a little control over the dogs, you know, so it don't be no incident. Cause like you
Yeah,
said, the incident happened, they gonna look at me though, cause I
yeah,
got these XLs and they're bully breed and they look like pit bulls and they gonna target me, but really it ain't me.
right.
My dog probably was just like you say, defending themselves. Um, if someone you know told you, if you met somebody, you came across somebody right now, and they told you, you know, I wanted to become a dog breeder, and they asked you, you know, what are some things I need to do? What would you say to them
I
right
would
now?
definitely say don't rush into it, you know, because I think a lot of people do, and then you end up making a lot of mistakes that you're like, dang, I shouldn't have done that. You can learn from them, but educate yourself on the breed. If it's an XL you want or whatever it is, if educate yourself on the standard of the breed. Uh, educate yourself on temperament. Figure out what dog. Join a if you're on Facebook, you know, join a bully page. If you're on IG, follow as many people that breed bullies as you possibly can. Um, and do it for like a year, man. Just study it. Maybe 6 months, but I would say a year because there's no rush. And just figure out what's the type of dog that I like. Then figure out who has those type of dogs. Then figure out, are these the type of people I can do business with? Reach out to them, talk to them. If they're responding to you, that's probably a good indicator that you can start something. If you have people, because there's people in our community too. It's like, I don't want to talk to you unless you got a bag. You know what I mean? It's like, if those are that type of people, X those off, X them off right away. Educate yourself on the breed, educate yourself on the breeder, and then after going through it, then jump into it. Figure out, do you want a boy or a girl? You want a male or a female? Because those things are very different. Maybe you're a type of person that you don't have a lot of space, so a male might be something good for you if you wanted to start a kennel. Maybe if you got more space, female probably is a better option for you. But yeah, just educate yourself, man.
Right, right. Like you said, it ain't no rush. You know, take your time and do your homework. But see, a lot of people when it come to this breed, it do be about money. People
Yeah.
see, like you said before, people see people with the flashy clothes, showing the money, the jewelry, the cars, and things like that. So they think that they can achieve those things too by breeding these dogs. So they are in a rush to get dogs. They not trying to do no homework and learn about the breed, learn about the dogs, hear the good, hear the bad, stuff like that, and they go out and they rush to buy a dog, and that in turn too is why some people getting scammed as well because you in such a rush to purchase a dog so you can get the breed and then trying to make money and thinking you gonna you know make it overnight because you seeing people showing cars, money, jewelry, and things like that, and connecting it with these dogs.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely, man.
I just recently came across a new YouTube channel. Well, it's new to me. I don't think it's a new YouTube channel, but it's new to me. The name of the channel is called Dogs Are Family. Dogs Are Family. For the viewers out there, if y'all ain't never watched nothing on this channel, go check it out, man. Dogs Are Family. You know, the content on the channel, I ain't gonna lie, to me, is sad and it's graphic, you know, but very much needed to bring some awareness though to things that's going on. It's like, you know, videos and content of, you know, the constant mistreatment of dogs. You know, it's all type of breeds of dogs on this channel. You know, and with I want to say this, you know, with the constant mixing, you know, of new dogs into our bull breeds, you know, that we deal with, far as like anything from French bulldogs, exotics, standards, XLs. People still mixing dogs, other breeds into these dogs, man, whether people want to say it or not. I'm gonna say it. People mixing still other breeds into these dogs. And you know,
Right.
I think, you know, with the experimentation of trying to create something new and something different, where do these dogs go that don't make the cut? And you know, why that kind of came to my mind is, you know, like I said, when I was watching some of those videos on this particular channel, it was a lot of dogs that was being abandoned and left, you know, tied up somewhere, hungry and things
Mm.
like that, left out in the woods and stuff like that. So I look at our community as well, you know, and I know, you know, like some people not gonna speak on it, but like I said, I'm gonna say it. You
Right.
know, we mix other breeds into these dogs, trying to create something new, trying to create the newest, hottest next thing. And what a lot of people don't see is all these dogs that don't turn out the way people expect them to turn out. And where do these dogs go?
Right.
I just want to get your thoughts on that topic, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's sad, and it's tricky too because our dog, the American Bully, was put together as kind of like a designer dog. It's one of the dogs. It was really like it was just aesthetically built. Like every dog, every breed has its purpose. You know, you breed a dog and you try to it's a good catch dog. It's whatever. But our dog was built for aesthetic purposes. And so at the beginning, a lot of things were introduced, but I feel like we're at a point right now where there's no need to continue to introduce it. The breed's already there. You know, people are looking for shortcuts, and so they'll go ahead and they'll do that, and it leads to bad stuff like that, man. I feel like as a breeder, you have to be ethical, man. And if you don't love dogs, like don't get involved in breeding. You know, like if you don't care about the dog, find something else to do. You can make a lot of money doing other stuff, man. Because me personally, if I got a dog that's got a lot of that has a lot of issues, and I can't have anybody, I don't know anybody that would take it in and give it a good home. That's my responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And so I did an interview with Monster Bully Kennels, and it was dope. He has this dog named Mercy, and she had got glaucoma. It's non-hereditary. She just formed this glaucoma, and it caused her to have these surgeries, and she's blind. And he keeps her, and he's like, she's gonna be with me to the day she dies. You know what I mean? I brought her into this world, and she's got these issues. I'm gonna take care of her. And I'm gonna love her. I was like, that's it right there. That's what we need. You know, if we have that type of ethics, if we have that type of mentality, dude, these dogs wouldn't be suffering so much. But I just had never. I know that there's a lot of different breeders with different mindsets, and they're fine with calling a dog, whether it be hard calling. I just couldn't get behind that. I couldn't do that.
Right. Like you said, I think it's our responsibility, you know, when we decide to put two dogs together and make a breeding, it's our responsibility to, like you said, to make sure them dogs is cared for in your care, or to make sure them dogs go into a good home.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, as gotta stop. I see like, a lot of a lot of breeding banners thrown out here, and breeding after breeding after
Yeah.
breeding after this. And I think, if you actually have the platform and the clientele, and you got, a waiting list of people that want to purchase a dog from you, then that's fine. But don't keep breeding dogs just because in your mind you feeling like, I can make money, by breeding these dogs. But when you drop these litters, you sitting on these dogs and you can't even sell them.
Hmm. Right.
So that that's a problem. That's a problem, man.
Yeah.
What would your response be, to the people out here? Because it's people out here, quite a bit of people who say that the American bully, the XL American bully, is a vicious breed.
Yeah. See, that goes along with us, like how we represent ourselves too. And then also, I don't think a lot of breeders have really educated themselves on temperament. Um, and a lot of that falls upon, I don't want to say anything bad about ABKC because ABKC is dope, man. Like I love the ABKC, but I really felt like maybe at the beginning, those dogs that had a little bit of hot blood, they should have been banned from the registry, like right off the bat. By allowing it, you can in a couple of generations breed away from that, but it's just like dogs that have hot blood should not be allowed to be bred. And I think breeders that are knowledgeable know that and they breed away from that because temperament really is the most important thing. But then you have a lot of people that they're not educated on the breed. They really don't know what they're doing and they will produce a hot dog. But it's not just XLs. That's in every dog. You know what I mean? It's you could breed towards that or you could breed away from that if you know what you're doing. But I think unfortunately many people they'll say something like cliche like oh temperament is number one, but they really don't even understand what that means. Or in pretty much like the aesthetics is number one or the color is number one because I know like I can sell that. And so they're more worried about sales than they are about, the type of dog that they're going to be placing in somebody's house.
Exactly, man. Speaking on colors, it's crazy you just said that, because that was the next thing I was gonna get to. Was I had saw a post on Instagram by they are Quicks Quality Kennels LLC on Instagram. Quicks Quality Kennels LLC on Instagram. And he said, are we ever going to get back to acknowledging true quality and structure of these dogs instead of coats and colors of them, or that just doesn't matter anymore to anyone?
Yeah.
Do you feel the game has kind of drifted away from producing dogs with quality and structure, due to a lot of breeders focusing on colors such as Tri and Merle?
I think we're heading towards it now. Um, I think there was a moment, especially in the boom, right, where everybody's like everybody could be a breeder because these dogs are going like that. And what people were going for was the Merle, was the tries and all that stuff. So people were breeding for that. But I think now, people say, okay, the bully market's saturated. The bully game's dead. Those people that were just breeding for the dollar are out now, or they're starting to leave. And so I think the people that are going to be sticking around for a while are going to have to start breeding towards structure and towards temperament and towards quality dogs because you could only sell me trash, once before I know who you are now. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like you can either you're a heck of a promoter and you can continue to find somebody to go ahead and buy something on a regular basis, somebody new, but there's going to be a point in time when you run out of people to scam. So I think the people that are going to last are the people that are going to be breeding towards that. And there's a lot of really good Merles and tries, man. Like some of the best dogs in the world are Merle. Like if you look at them, like you're like those dogs are amazing. So I think there's enough of them. Like if somebody really cares about the color, well, you can use them now. So I think it's coming around.
Right. Like you just said, it is. It's quite a bit of dogs with color that got structure and everything. It's just. I think too. It's a lack of education for us. Like I think people that's just now getting into the dogs and into the breed. Sometimes it's not that they doing these things on purpose.
Yeah,
I think it's just, it's a lack of education where they don't understand. They don't know, like, stiff stifles or high rears or, they not really educated on the structure of a dog. So, that's what it is too, I think.
yeah, for sure.
In your opinion, what is missing or what is needed to make the bully breed better and also the bully community better?
Well, I think we've kind of touched on it a little bit, like the way that we as kennels present ourselves. I think channels like yours are what's needed too, educational channels. Like I was telling you off camera, I tried that, but the people that kind of like follow me, they're more into like my vlogs and stuff than they are actually like the education stuff. So I kind of veered off. I'll sprinkle a little education in there every now and then, but for the most part, it's just entertaining. But like channels like you, channels like QBN, channels like I don't Daryl Thrower. I don't know if you're familiar with Thrower Bullies,
Yeah, yep, I'm
but
familiar with him.
oh man, but I used to follow him all the time when he was on YouTube. He's more on Facebook now, but I learned a lot about temperament from him. Like a lot of these educational platforms are what's needed to better us in general, as breeders and a community.
Right. I agree. It's funny you said that though. Yeah, I know who Daryl Thrower is, QBN. Like, uh, I'm a fan, man, of the breed, and I'm also a fan and I'm a student of the game as well too. Like
Yeah,
I watch a lot of YouTube videos, man, whether people know it or not. That's like it's another platform, the Bully Spitting Podcast.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I always shout them out when I can, and I always, show them love because, I watched a lot of their stuff. Like I said, I'm a fan, man, before anything. So,
Yeah.
I appreciate all channels out here that's doing that thing. Like they've been doing this way before me. Like I say, I'm a fan of them.
Mhm.
Like NWA Kane Corsos. I don't know if you're familiar with that
I've
channel.
heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I watch that channel too.
Yeah. Double
Uh,
muscle line bulls. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah, double
I'm
muscle
I'm a
line.
student of it all too, man. It's like uh, I'm the type of person I get like obsessive. You know what I'm saying? And I want to know everything. And so I've done that. I've checked out every platform, even dogs that aren't even bullies. You know what I'm saying? I'll be watching people on that, like the Cane Court NWA. The Sentinel Canine Sentinels. Like there's a lot of people that I just be watching just to learn about the
Yeah.
temperament, everything.
Yeah, that's how I am, man. I be watching it all. I be watching hog hunting and all type of stuff, man. I just like dogs, man.
Me
So and
too.
I like hearing people. I like learning, So I like being educated, like you say. So I watch a whole lot of stuff, man. I want to ask, with all the success, that show hosts having, throwing like fun shows. Do you still feel there is a need for sanctioned shows moving forward into the future?
I've been thinking about that, man. It's funny. It's kind of up in the air. I thought about it. I've never shown my dogs. I thought about it, but then it's weird, man, because it's like, why do a lot of people do it? Like the dogs don't care. Normally it's just for like my ego, like, hey, I got a champ, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm able to do it. But I can look at a dog and I could tell if it's a quality dog or not, regardless if it has ribbons or anything. You know what I'm saying? Some of my favorite dogs of all time, they never won anything. And my top three dogs of all time, King Zion, Bossy Stacks, and Bossy's Dexter, never won anything. But those dogs are amazing, man. And so I could look at a dog and I could tell, like, okay, that's a quality dog right there, regardless. I do like going to the shows because of the community. I like going because I'm meeting people. I'm getting to lay eyes on some dogs that I might have seen on social media. But I really don't even pay attention to the competitions whenever I go there, to be honest. You know what I mean? I'm normally walking around, introducing myself to the people, looking at the dogs, and then making my assessment upon the dogs myself. Uh, so I don't know, man. I think that it's cool because I think giving a dog purpose is amazing, no matter what it is. If it's a show dog and that's the purpose of the dog, then heck yeah, man. Then I want you to go ahead and do that. But I don't know if it's for me, and I don't know if it's necessary either.
Yeah, I had Biggest Bullies on the show before, and he had said that in the interview, like, like you just said, for us, like, it's a lot of dogs that we all like and love, and like, that's my favorite dog, and they never won one ribbon. Um,
Mhm.
and he was saying to the extent, when he used to go out with his dog Teddy to these shows, he never entered them into no show or nothing. It'd be a show right over there wherever he at with his dog, crowds of people coming up, kids, they all in all, look at this big dog, and but he never entered them into a show.
Oh yeah,
I think uh I think, like I said, it's a lot of hosts right now that's throwing their own shows and they getting away from, attaching like a sanctioning body to their show, and they having a
hmm
lot of success. On the flip side, I know, what sanctioned shows are supposed to be for is for, like, the moving the breed forward, like far as like the the dogs that's supposed to be winning, like the grand champions and things like that, is supposed to be what the community should be breeding towards, inside of a registry.
yeah,
But a lot of times, I can't say it personally from experience, but I done heard people say, it's a lot of politics in the
yeah.
show ring and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, I can't speak on it personally because I never showed no dogs. What was the best dog show you ever attended, man, and why?
Well, it's what was it? The Coachella Bully Festival, Coachella Bully Fest, and that was over in Cathedral City. And Roman's Frenchies is the name of the kennel that put it on. But it wasn't just for Frenchies; it was for bullies. They had what else did they have? They had a lot of different dogs there, but Pomeranians. And I almost entered my boy. I did enter my boy into the competition, but I ended up leaving and then coming back by the time it was over. But anyway, like what I thought was really cool about it was just the whole atmosphere. Like they had the whole amphitheater, they had the food, they had it all set up good. The spacing was great. Um, the people that were hosting the show were just out meeting and greeting people. It felt like a family function. There was kids out there, it was the families out there. I thought that was like the best show that I ever been to, even though it wasn't an exclusively bully show, as far as like the event went. But like as far as like the dogs go, I don't know if you've seen the video that I dropped with the Cinco de Mayo one.
Yeah, I watched it.
So
Yep, I
they had
seen
the
it.
nicest, the dopest dogs in the world were over there, bro. Like
That's out in Cali, right?
yeah, it was over in Ontario, which is like real close to LA. And man, they had like you probably seen I don't know if you've seen Pressure. I don't know if he was in that video, but Lolo's Pressure was there. Um, well, it's owned by Grand Champ or by Artisan Kennels, but Grand Champion Captain America was there. Samba Kennels Tractor was there. Uh, all kinds of dogs by Bossy was there. Like just some of the best dogs that I've ever seen were all there. So I would have probably done the event a little bit differently, but as far as the dogs go, that was probably the sickest event I ever been to.
Speaking of seeing all those different, top name dogs, what what is a dog, that that you've seen on camera or seen in the video, you know, and when you actually seen it in person, he actually was that what you expected of him to be from the picture and the video. When you actually seen him in person, like, wow, he him for real in person too.
Yeah, you know, De Niro, that's grand champion. I just said his name, Captain America's son. And that's actually who I'm going to be doing an event with pretty soon. We were going to do it on the 3rd next weekend, but we're going to push it back to September 28th in Vegas. But his boy, De Niro, is the truth, dog. Like, he has his own YouTube channel too. He just does a lot of shorts. He does a couple long form videos, but mostly his shorts. Negrete Bulls. His boy De Niro is sick, man. Like, so nice, great temperament, big old head, just he ain't got no ribbons yet. I'm assuming he's probably gonna be showing him at some point in time. But you look at him, and that dog's a champ. You know.
It's funny you say that, man. I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty positive on this. People from Cleveland, when y'all watch this, anybody that's in the Cleveland Bully Link chat on Instagram, let me know if I'm correct. I think I seen them talking about that dog, De Niro. It's a Captain America's son, right? I think I
Yeah,
seen him talking about that dog in the chat, saying like how, like, yeah, this dog it. If I ain't mistaken,
yeah,
I'm pretty positive, man. It was that dog they said, De Niro, or
yeah,
Captain America's son.
yeah. Whenever I drop, because I'm gonna drop a video of that event, I'm gonna try to highlight him so he gets his shine because I really think that dog deserves it.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna have to maybe too. Whenever you get time, send me if that guy got an Instagram. Send me his Instagram so I could
Uh,
kind of check
he
it
actually
out.
does it. I,
He don't got
he
an
actually
Instagram.
does it. Nah, he just I think he's on Facebook. I don't follow him on Facebook because I'm not really on Facebook, honestly. And then YouTube. So I follow him on YouTube.
If he got a YouTube, yeah, send me
I'll send you
that
that
so I can check that dog out.
for sure.
Yeah. Is it any other dogs you've seen in person? You know that blew you away too. Like, yeah, this dog actually what I thought it was gonna be in person.
Mm, Tractor. I don't know if you've seen Samba Kennels Tractor. That
Yeah,
boy's
I've
bad,
seen
dude.
I've seen pictures and videos, but like I say, I never seen him in person.
Yeah, I mean he's got like the perfect shape head. Uh, like I want to actually produce a head like that in my dogs, and then he's just ripped up, and he's the most calm dog you can see. Like he's the type of like temperament that you would look at and you'd be like, okay, that's what we want to breed towards. All kinds of commotion be going around him, and he's just chill. He's just calm. He's not worried about anything. So, and yeah, he's a dope looking dog.
Yeah, the reason I asked, sometimes you see pictures, you see videos of some dogs, then when you see them in person, you be a little let down, like, hold
Yep,
on, man, that can't be the same dog. But
yep. I had several of them. Trust me, I had several of them. Like, oh man, that ain't the same dog.
um, as you already know, I'm subscribed to your YouTube channel. Um, if y'all not subscribed to this man channel, it's Heroes Kennels on YouTube as well, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, go subscribe to his channel, man. Heroes Kennels on YouTube. Great content on there. Like I said, I'm a fan. I'll be watching
Appreciate it.
your videos as well, man.
Thank you.
I recently, watched the video where you took I think you said it was a little over a 15-hour drive to the NBK facility to,
Yep.
choose a stud for one of your females.
Hmm.
Out of the studs you had to choose from, kind of break down why you chose King Louis. You chose King Louis, right? Is that his name?
Correct. Yeah, King Louis. Now, King Louis is a great dog. Now, speaking of some of the favorite dogs that don't have championships, he actually does. You know, he's a 3 different registry champ, and he's in that video. He looks amazing, but he's actually 7.5, man. So he's like far from his prime. But if you seen that dog, you'd be like, he's probably like 4, 5. There's no way you would think that he was 7. That dog is impressive to this day. And he has a 26 koi. So I'm knowing that he's going to push a lot in the litter. And what I'm looking with for my female, because my female, she's really, really well put together, but she has it's not even stiff stifles. She has a little extra longer femur. And so it appears like she has a little bit of a slight high rear. So I'm looking to fix that top line with that breeding. And I felt like he's got the perfect top line. I love my girl's head. So if I'm going to be able to complement her head with his top line and his structure and everything else, like she's got straight feet, wide chest, muscled up. He's got all that stuff. So I know that that's going to come through the litter, but I'm looking for that top line of him. And I'm hoping that we're able to pass through her dome piece as well.
Right. Some you just said he has a 26 koi, COI, right?
Yeah.
Explain that to people. What do you mean by that when you say that? For people that
Okay.
don't know or not familiar with those terms.
All right. Cool. I believe it's, yeah, coefficiency of inbreeding. Basically, like, you know, whenever you're breeding dogs, like if you have this dog right here, might be looking really good. And you have this dog over here that's not related, but also looks really good. You might put those two dogs together thinking that you're going to get, a specific look, and you don't get anything like it because you'll have one dog pushing more of the traits uh, than the other. Or maybe if there's terrier in this line, even though it has a bully look, there's terrier features, or there's terrier in this dog, and the same thing over here, even though it has a bully look. You might put those two dogs together, and then you have a whole litter of terriers. Um, if you want to have consistency in your look, you have to line breed eventually. You know what I mean? And you don't necessarily want to just start line breeding if there's a whole lot of faults within your line. You're gonna want to breed some of those things out. But whenever you got like a good dog and you want to keep those features, you're gonna want to breed it to some sort of a relative, right? Uh, Maybe not like a father or daughter or sibling, definitely not, but like an uncle to a niece, or like a half brother, maybe even to a half sister. And once you do that, that coefficiency of inbreeding is going to start going up. And what that means is that whenever that you use that dog to go ahead and breed, they're going to be pushing those features out more heavy, because of a dog that has a high koi is going to push that look. And so that's what King Louis is going to do. He's going to really push his look in whatever litter he's in.
Right. I appreciate you breaking that down. Like I say, it's people out here that may not know what that means.
Yeah.
So the higher the number on the COI, he's been more bred a little bit more tighter than
Yes.
some dog with a lower koi number. You know,
Exactly.
so when people are putting together these breedings, see, that's something that a lot of people don't know. Like you just said, you mentioned that he got a 26 koi, COI. Is that you want to know those numbers so you can
Yeah.
kind of, because like you said, if you got a female with a high koi number and you looking to bring these traits in from this male, you about to go out and pay all this money on this stud fee to breed to this awesome male that you think is so awesome, but you ain't do your homework and he got this low koi number, and you go to breed and I ain't get what I thought I was gonna get. I ain't, it's up in the air when you do a breeding anyway. It's all in God's hands, but
Right.
still, the probabilities can be more in your favor if you do your homework. So,
Exactly.
for us, like I said, like you breeding to this male, you got this low koi number, and now you wondering why I ain't get none of the look. I ain't get these puppies don't look nothing like him. He ain't throw nothing
Yeah.
on nothing. It's because you ain't do your homework. So
Yep.
I'm glad you brought that up, because like I say, it's a lot of people that ain't familiar with that at all. I had actually, it's a guy who I actually did an interview with here in Cleveland, Billy from Divine Bully Camp. And I was, off camera, I was kind of, telling him about that. And, educating him a little bit on that, and he was saying, he ain't really know about it too much.
See, and this is what these channels are for, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You spoke on the characteristics you was expecting to see from the puppies. How important, is the role of the female in your breeding program? And explain to the viewers why your females might be important, or if your females aren't important, explain why they're not important to you in your breeding program.
Well, they're very important for a couple of reasons, Like if you got one male and like just say that you're doing stud back deals, you're only going to get one other dog back from that breeding. So if you're looking to build your kennel, you'll build it, but it's going to be much slower. If you got that female, you got one litter, and you're really trying to build your kennel, you got a whole litter to work with if that's something that you want to do. Also, too, typically females push a lot more of their phenotype, um, which means like their appearance in a breeding, because dogs, what do they have, 76 chromosomes? Uh, they almost have double the amount that we do. And the males use part of their DNA to push forth the gender of the dog, while the females use a lot of their DNA to shoot forth the phenotype, the look of the dog. So if you got a really good female, then good chance that you're gonna have a pretty good litter. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Right. I wanna say this to it's a platform on Instagram as well called Off the Leash Media, and they posted. I just saw this today. They posted a post by a guy, Robin Lane Kennels Club, and he said, "Should people show love because it's you, even if they don't like the dog?" So basically saying, if you post a particular dog or you marketing a particular dog, should a person still like the dog and put fire emojis on the post, even though they don't really like the dog that you posting just because it's you? What you think about that?
Well, I'll be honest. Like, there's a lot of people that I follow that I don't necessarily like their dog. I'll show them love. It's because I know the type of people that they are. They're good people, and I know what their objective is. And regardless if I see somebody that has the type of dog that I like or not, the type of dog that I like, not everybody's gonna like. But I support them and I rock with them. So I'll go ahead and I'll show love to them. Now, as far as like the dog, hey man, not my dogs ain't everybody's cup of tea. So it's all good. I don't mind showing love. I feel like it's one of those things. It's like we have the mentality sometimes in within our community. It's almost like I have to bring you down. You know what I mean? I have to go ahead and point out everything wrong with your dog, or I have to, in order to make myself look better or my dogs look better. And I think that's kind of the wrong mind. I think that's a weak mindset to have, honestly. I feel like, man, I could support you, but that's just really not my type of dog. We could spend so much time going through everybody's profiles and Instagrams and then pointing out flaw. Every dog's got a flaw. No dog's perfect. But I know what I'm trying to breed towards and what I'm trying to go for. So I don't have a problem supporting other people, even if I don't necessarily like their dog.
Exactly, man. I feel like what you just said. No, whatever somebody preference is of what they like, somebody might like a more terrier dog.
Yeah,
Cause you don't know what they're doing with their dog. So they might like a more terrier style bully. So I
yeah.
think to each his own. And like if you really genuinely rock with somebody and you call this is somebody who you know call a friend or somebody who you know vibe with, or you met on Instagram and y'all clicked and y'all kind of cool, yeah, why not support it? Even if it's not your type of dog that you like, or why not? That's just my opinion, man. Like you said, I support everybody, man. Even if I wasn't doing this, I still support everybody. For real. No.
Sure.
What up, Canine fam? Do not sleep on our most popular combo stack by far. Puppy formula, weight gainer. Here's why. We want to mimic mama's milk in both directions, both divisions. So we got the biotin, the goat's milk, the vitamin A. Then we also have the clean animal protein, animal fat. We want to give back on both avenues to not only the puppies, but also mama. So remember, first 18 months of their life minimum, mama, the first 4 to 5 months post-pregnancy. This is the stack. Just check out our unsolicited real-world feedback. Never lies. Appreciate you.
I wanna kind of speak on the YouTube aspect of what you do. What made you start, producing the YouTube videos?
Well, it's funny. It's like I don't know anything about social media. I'm I'm a '90s kid, and we only like the real rich kids had cell phones. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even own a cell phone. I think I was like 20. I was like 25 or 26 before I even got a cell phone. It's because the boss that I was working with told me, "Hey, I need to get a hold of you. You go ahead. You need it." So I got it because of work. I never even really cared about social media or anything, but I knew that once I was going to go ahead and step into this world, you could have the best dogs in the world, but if nobody knows who they are, good luck trying to make it into a business. So I knew that like promotion is going to be huge. So I just said, okay, I'm going to get involved in these platforms. I'm going to educate myself. I had a couple of younger brother-in-laws that were trying to like show me how to do. And even matter of fact, myself and two of my brother-in-laws, they're the ones that really mainly edit all of my YouTube videos. Were kind of showing me how to do it. I'd educated myself on how to do that as well. And then just every day just started, showcasing my dogs and taking them out for a walk and showing it on Instagram, on TikTok, Facebook, all of this stuff. And then before you know it, like I gained traction kind of quick. And so I just kept going with it and coming up with ideas. Hey, let's do this.
I'm gonna tell you, man. One of the videos I watched, man, that I liked that you did. It was funny. It was funny too. The one where you did the e-collar, the shot collar video.
Yeah,
That was a cool video, man. I had watched that video. I had got
thank
off
you.
work one day and I had watched that video. I was laughing, man. I was like, that was a cool video, man.
Thank you. Well, I figured too, it was one of those things. It was like, all right, my wife had suggested getting that collar for one of our dogs. We got a pit bull named Jackson, and she's the protector. She's the alpha around here amongst the dogs, and she likes to bark. She barks too much, and we've tried everything with her. She just wouldn't listen. And when she suggested getting the e-collar, I was like, man, I don't know how that feels. Now, I don't feel comfortable just putting that on my dog because if it hurts my dog, I don't want to do it. So I was like, hey, we should make a video about this. I'm gonna test it out on myself. If it's reasonable, we'll go ahead and we'll do it. If not, then we ain't. That's fun. Yeah. Hey, the funny thing about that, I did that video 3 times. The first time I did it, the audio was off, and so I was like, oh, for real. So I did it again, and then we were like in the shadow, so you couldn't even really see anything. And I was like, for real. So we did it a third time, man. And the second time, I went all the way up to 10. I went the whole thing. The last one I just did to 9. But
Yeah, that's even more funnier to me now, man, to hear you say you did that video 3 times, because it was funny, man, when I watched it. Like I said, you shocking yourself with the collar. I was like, yeah, that was funny, man. Uh, where do you draw like the inspiration for your videos? Do it just be like on the fly, like something will pop up and you be like, I'm gonna make a video on this. Like, where you be drawing your inspiration from?
well, what's funny is like I don't know if you ever heard of like the Bully Report or Bullies from the UK.
I think I seen some of their videos on YouTube. They're
Yeah,
on YouTube,
they,
right? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
on YouTube. They haven't made anything in a while, but they used to do a lot of like bully link ups and bully shows. And that's actually the first time I ever seen Bully Layer is they did an interview with them at their channel. And I was like, you know what? We don't have anything like that in the States. I think that would be tight. It was always really entertaining and stuff. And I'm like, I want to do that. And so I kind of felt like that's where the people that follow my channel started gravitating to, because I tried to do some educational stuff. I interviewed a couple of kennels. I was talking about showing. I had champion a Dogo Argentina champions that I was interviewing, talked to us about showing, about international shipping, about just tips of breeding. And I didn't really get a whole lot of feedback from it. So I said, you know what? People are kind of gravitating toward this entertainment aspect. Let me go ahead and do some fun stuff, man. So I started kind of like, I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to be going here anyway. I might as well just vlog it. And so whenever I would do that, it felt like a lot of people were liking it. So we just kept it going.
Speaking on the videos, like I said, I had watched the part one of the NBK video.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that experience like, man, when you went out there?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Like, I like to take road trips, and my wife is a guidance counselor, and so she has summers off. And so during summertime, I like to take a vacation, and with her, and then we do something fun. And so me, my wife, and my son were planning on doing something fun anyway. Our dog, our girl Leia, was is just about a year, almost a year and a half, about in between a year and a half. Like it's almost that time for us to go ahead and figure out who we're going to run with her. I want to lay hands on these dogs before, I pull the trigger on any of them anyway. So let's just go ahead and vlog it. So it was a beautiful trip. Ryan is a cool dude. Like even the day before we went up there, like he was like, hey, let's go out to dinner. And so he took us out to dinner. We were chopping it up. He got the whole yard and the whole thing looking like super nice just because he knew we were coming out here. I felt weird because I was like, he probably thinks we're coming out here with like really high, dollar cameras and stuff. And I'm just coming out with my cell phone.
Right.
Yeah. But then, we went, he showed us the whole facility, showed us the dogs and we really bonded. Him and his wife, Nicole, are solid people. And their daughter, Samantha, and the workers that they have over there are just A1. So it was really cool. Like earlier you were asking me what's the best thing and what's the worst thing about getting into the bully, area space. And I said the people, some of the people, but people like him are one of the best things too, because it's like he does it right. You could tell that he really cares for the dogs. He breeds for Temperament first. He cares about the people that work for him. Whenever part two comes out, you'll see like he made it a point to have all of his employees come over and get on the video because he wanted to give them shine. He was like, hey, like this is my right hand. These are the people that helped me. I couldn't do this without them. And I was like, that's cool, man. Letting everybody know we can't do it by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And we need people. And so that was a very good experience. When we came back, we were beat. I had to go back because bro, like it was 32 hours of driving just back and forth there. And then even before that, the day before that, I drove up to Cottonwood, Arizona and back, which was like 12 hours. So I was on the road for my vacation for like 48 hours, man.
Yeah, wow. I drive semi trucks and but I don't do the OTR. I don't do over the road. I don't leave out of Ohio. But I actually took a trip to Connecticut. I actually took a load to Connecticut probably like maybe like 3, 4 weeks ago. That's the longest I drove in a minute. It was like 8, 9, almost like 9 hours to get up there and 9 hours back. But yeah, that. I ain't drove like that in a while. Usually I'm just driving like the most hour and a half out, 2 hours out, and I'm coming right back, dropping something off, getting something else. what is something that Ryan, man, could have told you or left on you, any advice or anything, while you was there, something that that you took back with you, a gem maybe or something that you learned from him while you was there.
Man, just a lot, man. We were just talking about how, certain things come up, like his wife pretty much does all of the whelping. And so like whenever there's an issue that comes up with any of the puppies, like she's Johnny on the spot. She handles them all. And she even invites people like, hey, if you're somebody new and that you want to come in and you want to learn how to do this, you can come in and you can help me do it. Just come in and for 2 weeks you can just come and just help us whelp these dogs. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and just give me a call. That's one of the things that and that's huge because I think a lot of the times we're like, okay, I'll go ahead and I'll help the people that that support me or that'll buy from me or something, but we're not looking at it as a whole. Like if we want to get this breed where it needs to be at, we have to be willing to go ahead and share our advice, go ahead and share what we know, because if our heart really is for the dog, then it's not really about me 100% as an individual. Like I still got my business, I want it to be successful, but I want you to succeed too, because if you succeed, that means the dog succeeds. So yeah, I think that like his whole mindset of just like opening yourself up and making yourself accessible to other breeders and sharing what you know, I thought that was huge.
Yeah, that is huge, man. Like I think that need to be done more often to kind of help people, that's coming in on their way up to learn and see how to do things right, you know.
Yeah.
Um, what is how can people, find you on social media platforms, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook? How can
Yeah.
people get a hold of you?
All of those, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, it's all Heroes Kennels. You can look us up. Um, Instagram is more of like, you already know how that platform goes. It's more of just like videos of me exercising my dogs, working, taking my dogs on hikes, some still shots. Uh, YouTube is more of like the vlog, the entertainment style. I'm still trying to learn TikTok. And that's the tricky one for me. I'm like, dang, I need to get my son to work that for me because I don't get it. And then
Yeah, I'm trying to
Facebook,
learn that too.
yeah, yeah. And then Facebook too. It's like if you want, like, I only do reels on Facebook. We have a decent following on Facebook, but I really don't know how because like I just basically share the same thing that I do on Instagram on Facebook, and it's working. So
Right. Um, for the people out there, let the people know, what you got going on, you know, towards the end of 2024 and into 2025, man.
we got two things brewing. I don't want to announce one of them yet, but I got my girl Clips that we're going to be working with towards the end of the year, and she might be coming into season again towards the later part of the year. So I'm thinking maybe January or February we're going to have something with her, and then obviously we got Leia that's coming up, and it's probably going to be around the same too. I think we're projecting her to go into her heat in November or December, so we should be having some litter on the ground from her in February. So we got a couple of things going on. So Clips and then Leia and King Louie. And I'll make sure whenever, we do who we're gonna do clips with that I announce it as well. But we got Clips and Leia to look forward to.
Before I get you out of here, something just came to mind. I want to ask you. Pricing of dogs, pricing of stud fees, pricing of puppies. How do you determine these prices for your kennel? Like how do you determine, the price that you charge for a stud fee, the price that you charge for a puppy, the price, that you might charge if somebody said, hey, I want to buy that adult dog from you.
Yeah.
How do you determine your prices?
Well, it's a good question, man. It's as far as the puppies, it's supply and demand, right? It's like I only got a limited amount of dogs. I only got a limited amount of puppies, so it's this is what I'm going to be able to charge, and I have people that are lined up to get some, so I already know like they're going to sell out pretty quick. I'm able to demand something that some people won't be able to, but if you don't have anybody that's following you, I would really suggest you to start off kind of not low. Don't lowball yourself because that's one of the reasons why this market is getting a little saturated because people are getting dogs and they're just wanting to sell them for $1,500, $2,000 and stuff. And it's like, well, that's cool for people that want to buy bullies, but what you're going to end up doing is just flooding it because you're asking for such a low thing. You're going to sell all those things and then you're going to decrease the value of the dog. If you're able to promote it and you're able to go ahead and create a demand for it, I would say don't be unreasonable with it. But these dogs are costly. Taking care of them costs a lot. Vet bills cost a lot. Having numerous dogs, it costs a lot, man. So respect your time. Respect the dog, and I wouldn't, even if you're a new breeder, I wouldn't go under $3,000 a dog. You know, personally. Now, as far as like the stud fee goes, if you ain't got a proven stud, you ain't gonna want to go ahead and charge a high price for them. I think something reasonable if you're trying to prove them is a pup at or $1,500, $2,000 is a reasonable deal until you're able to go ahead and prove that dog, and then you can raise it up. So
One more thing. One more. I know I just said that before, but one more thing. What's your top XLs in the game right now?
yeah, well, my favorite dog that I've never actually laid hands on, but I've seen video of this dog is my dog Aries' dad, Dexter. Dexter's over in the UK right now. And man, I wanted to get him over here. Where we did that bully band, I wanted to get him over here and take him into my kennel, but he's impressive, man. If you got Instagram, check him out on Show Bullies. I think it's Show Bullies 2. And you get to check out that dog, Dexter. He's amazing. So him, he's definitely my top dog right now. And then maybe De Niro. I like De Niro a lot. And I like Klaus too, man. Klaus is dope. Samba Kennels Klaus. I never laid eyes on him either, but he's a dog that I would love to lay eyes on and hands on.
Right, right. All right, man. I'm gonna wrap it up. Hopefully, in the future I could get you back on. We could dive deeper into some other topics. I want to tell you this again. I know I told you this before, man, but I appreciate you and I appreciate all the love and support you've been pouring out for the channel, man, ever since the beginning. It's good to finally, talk to you and put a face with a face and all of that. And once again, man, thank you. I appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing for the breed. I think you're doing a beautiful thing for the breed. I think you're doing a beautiful thing for the community. I love your channel. If y'all not already subscribed to his channel, go check it out. Heroes Kennels on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, Sadiq, and I love your channel, man. I appreciate everything that you do for the community as well. And so, yeah, man, just keep grinding. Any way that I could continue to work with you or anything that you need help with, just reach out and I'll be right here, dog.
Yep, no problem, man. Heroes Kennels, Allied Bullies TV, and we out of here like yesterday.
This episode of Allied Bullies TV is being brought to you by K9 Super Supplements Puppy Formula. This awesome supplement contains green tripe, goat's milk, biotin, along with 6 other ingredients to promote growth and development, support immunity, digestive health, bone health, and also skin and coat health. Head on over to K9supersupplements.com today and grab yours.